Fellow tennis nerds, I hope you are well. This is the revisit of the Pure Strikes that Henrik and I reviewed quite a while ago, early 2024, maybe end of 2023, so it was a while ago, and a revisit of some of the models of the Pure Strikes, and many things still stand with me, but I want to revisit them because they have a new carbon gray, or if you want to call it steel, cosmetic. And let me know what you think about this cosmetic in the comments. This is the 97 one, which actually is my favorite of the bunch, and we'll do it in the order of power, starting from the 97. So this is the slightly different mold. It's more of a pure control mold, this one. You remember that great old racket? It gives you the most control and the least power of all the Pure Strikes. As you might know, the Pure Strike is the Babolat control range. Still, they are slightly stiffer and more focused on power than many control lines are these days. That's the Babolat DNA, so I completely understand it. More suited to the modern game, you could argue. But they have a very control-oriented racket in the 97 that feels solid, that plays great in stock form, but with some customization can be really unlocked. I have some friends that swear by this frame. They love the 97. Some of the guys I tried it really like the 97 as well. I think it could be the gem of the bunch, but it completely depends on your player style and your level. It is quite heavy, 310 grams unstrung, and swing weight is like 325 strung with a standard 125 poly. You can also get maybe a bit higher spec on these, but overall a very solid frame, ready for some minor customization, ready to play it on the highest level of tennis. Gives you precision, but thanks to the shape, it's a bit more forgiving than maybe a pro staff, I would say. It's in that kind of DNA and family of that type of racket in terms of control and a bit more power with the stiffness. I think it could be liked by many who likes Pro Staff 315. The 97 with its thin beam and still packing somewhat of a punch thanks to the weight and the swing weight is my favorite of the bunch. It feels less sluggish than the 98s. This beautiful Pure Strike 97 based on the old Pure Control mold. So this is kind of like Cameron Norrie style territory. 1620 pattern, 310 grams unstrung. Really a classic rackets. Pretty classic design as well.
Yeah, really nice. I like this thin beams. And 1620 is also, like I said before, like my fetish string pattern. You get the spin and you still have the flat control, so it's very interesting for many hard hitters. And yeah, great racket overall, firm, good touch, good control, good spin, so super nice blend, and I like overall the rackets a lot. I could play with this one immediately.
I do struggle to play with the 98s, which we get to next. I know many of you love them, and I also like them, but the newer generations of the 98s, after the Generation 2, which kind of took the world by storm, when Domi was playing his best tennis, and that was such a well-beloved racket, but it was also quite stiff and ruined some arms out there. They had no real dampening. The other ones feel a little bit heavy to me, like a bit slow through the air. Swing weight's usually a bit high on those. Feel very solid, which is good, but I sometimes lack that whippiness to control the ball, and that's why they are not my favorite, the 98s. I like the 97 better. Might be more demanding, but gives most of the room to play a little bit more aggressively. That is still my feeling. I know many of you would like the 98s. The 98 compare well to more powerful rackets from other brands, maybe like even E-Zones, because it's not quite a blade. It's more powerful than a blade, more powerful than a Radical. You're gonna get a bit more pop on the shots with the strike. So 98s are decent. 1820 would be my fave, but they're a little bit more sluggish, so not my personal preference. Although many players I know like them a lot. Domi, you know, used that for his whole career. We get to the hundreds. I have a favorite here. It's the 100 1620. So alongside the 97, I actually like the 100 1620 more than the 98s, which is maybe counterintuitive. So we can look at the specifications to give you an understanding of why I like this frame. And as you might see, it's really well reviewed on Tennis Warehouse, and I can agree with this. It has a lower stiffness rating, and I like a solid feel, but like a little bit of a flex, longer dwell time. And this one is pretty comfortable racket, 60 strung, meaning like 63 unstrung, 21, 23, 21. So thin beam. It's a very much a control racket with a bit more forgiveness. I do feel like I want a bit more swing weight, listed 320 on my Metro Tune, also similar to that. So I do want to add maybe a bit of weight in the hoop. So I did add, like I would say, 2 grams of 12. That gives it maybe 10 points. You're on 330, and then the racket plays really solid and nice and has a nice comfort feel. So if you want a comfortable Pure Strike, this is the one. The 100 1620 is the most comfortable one, and pretty easy to use. Very good racket. Underlooked, I would say, overlooked. Players don't really consider that maybe. It's a new model for this generation 4 of the Pure Strikes, and it deserves some praise because it's very good. And as you can see from the reviews, players really like it. There's the 100 1619 as well. This is a little bit different. Stiffness a bit higher, 63, so 3 points higher, and beam same. And the 1619 pattern will give you a bit more of a launch angle, similar to what the Percept do with like the 1819D, and now they have also, of course, the 100, which is 1619. So for you guys who maybe hit with a bit more spin, you like a bit more lift of the net, the 100 is the better choice. But for players who want a bit more control, a bit flexible, more flexible feel, the 1620 would be my choice. So 1620 and 97 are my favorite Pure Strikes. Praise can go to the 98s. They are rock solid, but for me a little bit heavy through the air for what it is, and I feel like I can play around a bit more with the 97. If you look at the specs of the 98s, they are like 330 swing weight, and if you get a one that's a little bit higher than that, it gets tough. I've seen that with the 1820 being, of course, a little bit higher than the 1619. While with the Strike 100 and the 97, you have a lower starting point of swing weight, giving you more room to customize and still a solid feel, although not quite the power of the 98s. So yeah, the Pure Strikes feel great. We don't see them as much maybe anymore. There are not that many sponsored tour players. Medjedovic using it. We have Cam Norrie, of course, but it's not like super frequent. We are seeing players overall from all brands go to more spin and power oriented rackets as the game of tennis evolves, as the needs of the players evolve, and maybe as the balls we play with devolve, players feeling like they need more help because everything is so slow. That's why you're seeing less control frames. But for club players, amateurs, I think a Pure Strike could be a great choice, giving you precision, giving you some power, helping you control the ball, and also a little bit more arm friendly than like a Pure Drive 98, which was quite firm, and even the Aero 98, which is cool and nice and plays with heavy spin, but some players report arm issues and some players report difficulties controlling it. So I think the strikes deserve a bit more attention. If you're a really advanced player, I think 97 will fit the bill. If you're a bit more of an intermediate player, the 100 1620 would be my choice. So that's the Pure Strike revisit. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about the cosmetic. I think it looks awesome. Always better in person. That's the thing with cosmetics. And if you don't know what racket to use, you are completely lost in the jungle of rackets, let me know in the comments, and check out tennisnerd.net. Recommended rackets, recommended strings. We have a consultation service. I'll make sure to link everything below. If you want to buy a racket, go to Tennis Warehouse Europe, or Tennis Only. Tennis Warehouse Europe, we have T-Nerd 10 for 10% off your racket, string, shoe, whatever purchase, except balls. And yeah, that's about it. Have a nice day now, and don't forget to play some tennis.